So how do you prove who you are? I mean, really prove it, in a world that demands evidence for, well, for everything, right? From your skills to your feelings, this question is more relevant than ever. We're going to explore why this pressure is so intense and maybe find an answer from a pretty unexpected place. Yeah, we're living in this age of, let's call it self-PR. It's this time where just feeling something or knowing something, that's not enough anymore. If you can't show it, if you can't prove it to everybody else, it's almost like it doesn't even count, you know? Your love for your family, how good you are at your job, it all feels like it needs this constant performance, this constant proof.
And what's really fascinating is how this has totally shifted our definition of what it even means to understand something. It's not just about what's rattling around in your head anymore. Nope. Now, real knowledge is what you can explain to someone else, what you can break down for them. It kind of makes you wonder, right? If you can't explain it, do you really know it?
So all of this, it brings us right to the heart of this modern problem. We're going to call it the pressure to prove. And it's this constant nagging need to justify our own existence, you know?
I mean, just think about your own life. At work, you're always having to show what you can do just to get noticed. With your family, you can't just assume they know you love them. You got to show it with words and actions. And out in the world, man, there's this huge pressure to look valuable, to look successful. It's a lot. It's a really heavy thing to carry around all the time.
But what if the answer to this super modern anxiety isn't some new productivity hack or the latest social media trend? What if the answer was actually laid out, plain as day, in a simple but really profound command given over 2,000 years ago? And not just any time, but in a moment of absolute crisis.
Okay, so let's dig into this ancient command. We're going to go way back to a really dramatic and pivotal moment in history, the Last Supper.
So, picture this. The scene is just incredibly tense. Jesus is there sharing one last meal with his closest friends, his disciples, and he knows his time is almost up. Right in the middle of all this, his betrayer, Judas, he just gets up and walks out into the night. And it's right then, at that exact moment, a moment of betrayal with doom literally right around the corner, that Jesus decides to give his last and most important instructions. And here's what he says. It's not some complex strategy, it's not some secret code, it's just a command. A new command I give you, love one another. And he's not just suggesting it. This was presented as the single most important thing they had to do once he was gone.
Okay, but this is where it gets kind of weird, really counterintuitive. To really get what this command means, we have to wrestle with something called the paradox of glory.
Think about this. The second his betrayer leaves to kick off his arrest and execution, Jesus doesn't show fear, he doesn't get angry. Instead, he says something totally baffling. He says, "Now the Son of Man has been glorified."
Wait, what? How could that possibly be? This is the ultimate betrayal. It's the beginning of his suffering, his humiliation. I mean, by any normal definition, this is the exact opposite of glory. It's failure. It's defeat. So what on earth did he mean?
So you've got these two totally different ideas of what glory even is. On one side, you have the world's version, right? It's all about climbing up, gaining power, getting all the likes and recognition. It's basically the ultimate self-PR campaign. But then, this source material gives us a completely different picture, the glory of the cross. And this kind of glory is found in lowering yourself, in serving other people, in literally giving yourself away for the good of someone else. So the big idea here is that true glory, the kind Jesus was talking about, isn't about winning or being better than everyone else. Not at all. It's found in this radical act of giving yourself up, of choosing to serve, even if it costs you absolutely everything.
And understanding this new definition of glory, that's the key to unlocking the command to love one another. Because the kind of love we're talking about here, it's probably not what you're thinking.
Yeah, the source is super clear about this. This love isn't some warm, fuzzy feeling that you get and then it disappears. It's not about just liking someone or feeling affection. I mean, think about it. You can't command someone to feel something, can you?
Instead, love here is defined as a choice, a decision, a principle you live by. At its core, it's an action. It's about what you do, especially when you really don't feel like it. So why is this command new? Well, the old standard, the one from the Old Testament, was love your neighbor as yourself, which is already pretty tough, right? But this new standard, it's way higher. It's way more radical. It's to love others as I have loved you. That means loving with that same sacrificial, self-giving love that Jesus just showed. The benchmark isn't your own self-love anymore, it's his self-sacrifice.
Okay, so what does that actually look like day to day? The source gives some pretty powerful, down-to-earth examples. It's you choosing to be the one who reaches out first even when you're the one who was wronged. It's actually praying for the people who've hurt you. It's serving other people without needing any recognition or a pat on the back. And it's forgiving, not just once, but again and again and again. That's what love as an action is all about.
And this brings us right back to where we started. In a world that's always demanding proof, how do you really prove who you are? How do you prove what you actually believe?
Well, Jesus gives the answer straight up. He doesn't say people will know you're his follower because of how much you know about theology or how loud you pray or how often you show up to church. No, he says the ultimate proof, the one thing that will make it obvious to everybody, is how you love other people.
So at the end of the day, the answer to that constant pressure to prove yourself is, well, it's beautifully simple. The ultimate proof of who you are, of what you believe, isn't in what you say, what you post, or what's on your resume. It's shown in how you act, in how you love the people around you.
And that really leaves us with one final, pretty challenging thought to chew on. If this kind of active, sacrificial love is the ultimate proof, the one true way to show who you are, then what is your life proving right now?